Alright, hey everyone, just letting you know before we get started, this is going to be my first video essay talking about something I think is pretty interesting, so I wanted to start off with that. So if you think this is really cool, please be sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you think I should do more of these. For today's topic, we'll be getting into one of my favorite things in the world to talk about, cryptids. I really love cryptids. I went to the Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It was awesome, I love it. I really like storytelling and the legends and fables of the fearsome creatures. I just think it's really cool. So to start off with that, after saying that, I want to talk about one of my favorite cryptids of all time. As I've already mentioned, I went to the Mothman Museum. So a little tidbit, hint in the beginning, we'll be starting off talking about the Mothman. Now, I'm not going to talk about everything about the Mothman. What we're mainly focusing on is what is the Mothman. A lot of times, I found people sum it down to 4 different things. Not really 4, but like mainly 3. I kind of just call it a Mothman and leave it at that. Don't know why it's called Mothman. Well, I do, but it doesn't really make sense with most recounts. Anyway, it's probably gonna be an alien, mutant abomination, or a curse. Now, to give you a little, summary of what the Mothman is, as of the name, not as of what it actually is, just as of name and legend, it's a cryptid. It's a huge cryptid. It has like a 10-foot wingspan, I believe, and it's like, I think 7 feet tall, and it hobbles around, which is kind of like a waddle, but not really. It's known to vacate the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and it brought many tourists, hunters, scientists, historians, blah blah blah, lots of people over its reign over the small town. But its whole Mothman sighting thing started from the years 1966 to 1967. During those years, there were over 100 sightings of the Mothman. My bad for the little mess up there. And all of these sightings would eventually come to a stop when the Silver Bridge collapsed, and that would kind of kill 46 people, and some of which were never found, specifically 2. And with the collapse of the bridge, came the collapse of the Mothman sightings. There weren't really any after that. Some people still say they see them today, but the number of sightings have definitely died down. They're not as frequent, not as present. But also, within that same year, the Mothman not really attacks, but sightings, a lot of different things would happen. A lot of people would theorize on what it is, and a lot of other things would happen. There were things with aliens, like the Men in Black and Idrid Cold, I think I said that right. And, Point Pleasant, West Virginia isn't, new to cryptids, We all know about the Flatwoods Monster. Well, if you do, it's like, I'm not going to go into it, maybe for another video, but it is another cryptid in Point Pleasant. It's an alien or a creature. I think it's an alien in a suit, though. Not just because of the Fallout games. Anyway, let's get into the first segment. Alien. Is it an alien? Well, as I mentioned, during the time of the Mothman sightings, there were many other unusual anomalies. As I said, Idrid Cold, the Men in Black, Flatwoods Monsters. A lot of people were saying they were seeing lights in the sky. A lot of things usually associated with UFOs. I remember watching a documentary and someone was like, yeah, a UFO ate my dog. And I was like, yeah, it's interesting thing. Very, very interesting thing to hear about. Anyway, they were all coincidentally in turn with the Mothman sightings, and even Men in Black, as I mentioned, were known to show up to people's houses who've seen the Mothman, and were telling people that they have seen the Mothman. The Men in Black would show up and be like, really intimidating, and then they kind of tell you to stop it, I guess. I don't really know. I've never seen a Men in Black before. Maybe I'll see one after this video goes out. Probably not. Anyway, yeah, I think it was some kind of fear tactic used to, scare people into not talking about the Mothman, but from the Men in Black. Some people think the Men in Black are parts of the government. Some people think the Men in Black are aliens. I think they're aliens, but this isn't a conspiracy video right now. I don't want to say show. Conspiracy video right now. I'm just getting into the Mothman, because he's just so cool. Anyway, yeah, Mothman would show up around a lot of alien sightings and stuff. So that would lead many people to view the Mothman as some sort of alien that was a creation of the Men in Black alien race. We're just calling them we'll call them the MIB aliens, because MIB is MIB, which is Men in Black. So the MIB alien people, yeah, those guys who made the Mothman and he escaped, or people assumed that Mothman was a product of the MIB aliens sent across Point Pleasant, West Virginia, as a fear tactic used to control the town. God, what is wrong with me? Anyway, that's one of the theories. My second thought on what this thing could be is a mutant abomination. Now, the term Mothman is actually coming from a Batman comic book. Oh, is that a voice crack? Anyway, comes from a comic book. The Mothman, coming from the Batman comic book, is not technically moth-like. Most visual descriptions of the Mothman say it's like more of a bird. I've seen some that say it has talons. I kind of think it's like a bat, because I don't think it would have arms. I see some pictures of him where he has arms, but I'm pretty sure birds don't really have arms either. And I feel like moths do, but you can't really see what's going on in their face, so we don't know if they have a beak or something. You know, I think those my dogs over there. Anyway, I believe the Mothman is maybe a mutant abomination too. This is the one I feel most of my ground in, cause I like a lot of mutants and stuff. I think mutants are cool. If you've seen my older stop motion videos, you've seen I had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I do really like mutants and stuff. I'm a geek. I like a lot of geeky things. Don't judge me. Anyway, outside of that, I'd say it is a mutant abomination, and here are my reasons why I think it's mostly a mutant abomination. First of all, the first sighting was at this place called which is dubbed the TNT Zone, but it's technically called the McClintock Wildlife Management Area, which is kind of lame. I think TNT Zone just sounds cooler, which is the alleged birthplace, or how I like to call it, the home of the Mothman. Anyway, it's the place where the first sighting was seen, where the first sighting of Mothman occurred, yeah. And it's where most of them would later occur too. It's a place where it was used for storage during World War II. I've heard a lot of people say it was used for chemical dumping and stuff. I don't know what exact chemicals they would dump, but I know it's used for chemical dumping, and now it's just a place for people to go hang out today and go explore and try to find the Mothman. Or vandalize, put some cool graffiti on the walls in the little bunkers, which are also really cool. Some people think the bunkers are Mothman's nests, by the way. I don't really think so, though. I don't really know. We don't have any proof of that, exactly. We don't have a lot of proof of a lot of these things. Most of these are just theories. But, I'm just covering what I found to be most interesting. Anyway, they said it was kind of the birthplace of the Mothman. Chemical dump, blah, 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 blah. But the reason they think it's a mutant abomination is because of this cool little bird. I gotta love this bird. Doesn't make me hate it at all. It's this kind of crane. It's, oh, god dang it. It's the sandhill crane, which they saying it is the Mothman, but mutated, which I don't really think so, because there are no really real indications it has a beak from what most reports say. They just say, the face is really fuzzy and dark, and it just has big red eyes, so I'm not sure it has a beak. The statue has a beak, but also the statue has abs, and I don't think, last time I checked, Mothman isn't, the Batman suit from that one movie we don't talk about. Anyway, yeah, they said it's a sandhill crane beak for two reasons. A, sandhill cranes tend to migrate, so they assumed it was a sandhill crane that just was really big and migrated away from its path. Or B, wait, no, let me explain why it was A. People think it's A. Because sandhill cranes have red little eye covers around their eyes. So yeah, kind of explains the red eye part. However, I don't think so. At all. Anyway, I digress. Other people think it's a mutated owl. Because it has big wings, I guess. And its head's kind of flat, from what I hear. And if you take this silhouette of an owl, and you put its wings out, also, owls don't have arms. Just putting that out there, why it probably doesn't have arms. Just gonna put out there, owls have kind of flat heads. You know, they're just like a little brick with wings. And so, I'd like to say Mothman is, if anything, could be a mutated owl. I'm gonna put that out there. But I don't think it is. I don't think it's a sandhill crane. But if it is anything, it's definitely probably potentially mutated. You know, I feel like the alien theory is cool. But this last theory is a theory that I think is interesting, but I don't really like it that much because, I don't know, I just like mutants and stuff. This last theory that some people think it is a curse. Now, way back in the early days of Point Pleasant, there was this guy called Chief Cornstalk who kind of was murdered, and he was like a general, really important guy, by the way. And he kind of got murdered with his family and his son. So that was really brutal and bad. Really sad. And so after that, apparently, legend has it, he cursed the town with his last dying breath. And I personally can't be mad at that. Now, Mothman, that some say, is a product of that curse. But this is something I actually think is pretty cool. There's a book called, that's the Mothman Prophecy. There's, I think, a documentary called The Curse of the Mothman. Check it out. I did. I kind of like it. It's pretty good. And, they talk about the Mothman in general. And a lot of people think Mothman's a part of this curse because, well, firstly, the town had a lot of bad luck after the curse, because the curse was kind of cursing them with bad luck. A lot of incidents, I think droughts and floods were really prominent, and that kind of was bad news for those people. And then the Mothman showed up, and that was already like a bad omen. If you see something in your house with like red eyes, and it's all black, and it's just hiding in the shadows, I don't think that would specifically seem friendly to you, you know, unless you're like one of the weird people who's kind of weird like that, and it's like, oh, he just wants a hug. But I don't think so. If I see that, I'm sprinting, I'm getting out of my room. Out of my room, one way or another. It's out the window or out the door. Probably out the window. So, yeah, a lot of people think that is, especially because simply a year before the Mothman, not before the Mothman, before the Silver Bridge, the Mothman was really huge. So some people A, think he's a part of the curse and he caused the Silver Bridge to collapse, or B, it's the fact that, you know, Mothman was just there to warn him about the curse and how the Silver Bridge would collapse in December, which is really sad. Christmas, like you know, a lot of people didn't have families to go home to because they were dead, and some families didn't get to see those people anymore, which is also really sad. The Silver Bridge has a memorial now, which I think is pretty cool. They rebuilt it, so that's also nice. But, you know, that history will ever be a part of that town and tied to this cool curse. Now, in conclusion, here are my closing thoughts. Look, I know this video... God, there goes another voice crack. I know this video was kind of a mess. A lot of stutters, a lot of slurring in my speech. Not slurs, but, like, you get the point. Oh, I got, like, spit in my voice right now. Anyway, this wasn't my best first impression of how I wanted a video essay to go. It's definitely dragging out. Yikes. But, you know, that's not the point. The point is my closing thoughts, so here we go. A question I often ask myself, even though I'm pretty sure it's mutant, is what do I think the Mothman is? But I can never truly figure it out. All it does is lead me to more questions, and every time I go back to look at the evidence, each source I find claims that it's one thing or the other, even though I still think it's mutant. But to me, Mothman will always be a part of history, you know? Some people see him as scaring someone into submission, you know? He has those talons wrapped around the town, like some kind of looming shadow, because people apparently still see him. I mean, I guess. I don't make the rules, so Yeah, a lot of people think Mothman is a symbol of fear, which I can agree with. Mothman brought a lot of fear to the town. He had people staying home. Apparently he ate a dog too. Apparently he tried to steal someone's baby once, so definitely fearful of the Mothman. But yeah, I think he's something. I'll pull Batman here. I think he hides in the shadows, perhaps. Maybe Mothman is the omen of the shadows. In the dark of night, you'll just see two red eyes just chase your car, flying at you like over 100 miles an hour. So yeah, closing thoughts are closed now, I guess. Thanks for watching this video. More so like video essay. We'll be trying to do more of these because they're easier to do than stop motion. And I feel like this is really cool. And I'm trying to work on my upload schedule. I feel like it's been a few months since my last video. Let me check real quick. I feel like it's been more than a few months, actually. Yeah, definitely more than a few months. Ooh, yeah, definitely more than a few months. That's like, oh god, 5 months. Jesus. No, not 5 months. It was 6 months ago. Half a year. Oh boy. Wait, no, it was 5. 5. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna try to work on my upload schedule. If not, I'll try to upload like once every 2 weeks. Probably on the weekend. I still have school and stuff, so, you know, that's gonna be a bummer to try to work through. But, hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think I could work on. Don't be too harsh, because this is my first one. Let me know if there's any facts that I might have missed, though, or things that you might have been confused on. And so, till the next one, bye.